Hello and welcome to Green Pass Gaming's midweek catch-up. I'm your host, Phlapp.
And I'm your host, Puxley.
And on tonight's show, we have more Series S rumours that have come to the surface. We've got 825,000 carbon-neutral Xbox Ones out in the wild. Ubisoft may have dropped the ball with PS5 and their backwards compatibility plans. Xbox Series X wins Most Wanted Tech for 2020 at the IGN Gamescom Awards. Blazing Sales is a new IP that seems to perhaps want to tackle Sea of Thieves. Talking to Sea of Thieves, there's a new dog update coming in September. September Game Passes will be running through every one of those. And there's an officially licensed edible Xbox One controller, but we'll be coming on to that at the end. So, Puxley, what's going on with this new Series S rumour, the latest Series S rumour?
Yeah, okay. So this all kind of stemmed from someone on Twitter. I believe they purchased a controller, and then inside of that, they had a code for a 14-day Game Pass Ultimate subscription, I believe.
Like this, I believe. Yes.
Exactly like that. And if you look underneath where it says redeem code for 14 days free, in that kind of small print, we see Xbox Series X/S. So Again, so obviously we've seen this before. It was printed on a controller, I believe, previously, and this time on a ticket for a code. So, is this yet another confirmation that, or an unofficial open secret confirmation that a Series S does indeed exist and actually is coming, and we're just still waiting for the final announcement?
Yeah, it does look like that. I mean, Microsoft are obviously waiting for something to happen. I don't think anyone knows what it is other than Microsoft, and we're all waiting with bated breath for this Series S, and there's more and more sort of rumors floating to the surface. It does make me wonder if their marketing department's actually kind of doing this on purpose to generate a little bit of sort of interest around the Series S. But I'm hoping that September is the month that we're going to learn about this blooming box.
Yeah, I mean, Series X is the main baby box that they want to sell, right? And obviously the Series S is hopefully some other kind of competitive option to select. So maybe they're just trying to sell the Series X a bit more before they start announcing a Series S. But we're going to have to wait, aren't we? I'm afraid. So hopefully sometime in September we'll get an announcement.
We've been pretty good at waiting thus far, so yeah, I'm sure we can wait for the weeks. We've actually got the Tokyo Game Show coming up, and I know Microsoft have actually got a showcase on that on the 24th of September, I believe. So I'm hoping that they might actually release it before then. But Microsoft are on the world stage again on the 24th of September, so you never know. You never know.
We might have a surprise. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Microsoft also released that they have made 825,000 carbon neutral Xboxes. Now, certain elements on Twitter have picked this up and run with it and kind of perhaps made the assumption that this is the launch number of consoles for the Xbox Series X. The image is a little bit misleading because this was actually first announced, I believe, back in September 2019, that Xbox wanted to have a program where they would make 825,000 Xboxes carbon neutral. Now, I believe they've already done this via Xbox One X, I think it was, and they've offset the production carbon footprint for these through various means like renewable energy and things like that. So it's not quite what some of the elements of Twitter and the some of the other less desirable elements of the gaming community, should we say, have kind of been purporting this as being something kind of negative. It's not actually, it's a positive thing. And I think Microsoft are very good for doing that, to be honest. I don't know what it means for the future. I'm guessing this was a pilot and they probably plan to do a lot more. But 825 isn't the final amount of launch consoles, thank God, because they plan to do a worldwide launch. So
yeah, less than 1 million on launch would be a bit troublesome, I think.
That would be a bit thin on the ground, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, so Ubisoft did something this month as well, didn't they? What's happened with PlayStation?
Yeah, so this is a bit of a strange one, I think. So earlier this week or late last week, Ubisoft made some comments on their website, I believe it was, basically saying that they believe that Xbox has the advantage over PS5 in backwards compatibility. Obviously, we all know that Xbox Series X is going to have Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the original Xbox backwards compatibility there, so you can play games throughout the whole generation of Xbox. Whereas so far, it's only been confirmed with the on Sony's end that the PS5 will only have PS4 backwards compatibility. We haven't heard anything yet of if it's going to have PS3, PlayStation 2, or the original PlayStation.
Well, on the screen is what Ubisoft wrote on the website. So I know they've since retracted this, haven't they?
Yeah. So again, I think we've all heard from Sony before that they, previous generations outside of PS4 will not be supported, and this has kind of set up an interesting debate online from what I've seen. There's a number of people on comments sections of different news articles and websites that I've read that some people believe that backwards compatibility is a great thing to have because it gives you access to your old library of games which you may have across all the different generations. But there's also the other side of the fence of people saying that, well, if you've not got around to playing a game over its 7-year lifespan of that console generation, then you're most likely not going to jump into it. I think there's very valid points on both sides. But I think the other interesting point that I've also read, again, this isn't necessarily official numbers, but backwards compatibility and previous gen games being bought through PlayStation sales, I believe, it's not the biggest revenue generator for Sony. In fact, I think it's one of the least. So I can understand their decision there. But at the same time, I do think there are a pool of gamers that exist throughout the world that would love to have a single box which can still support all of their old content. I mean, I've certainly got a massive collection of 360 discs sitting in a drawer behind me somewhere that, one day maybe I'd look at them and go, actually, I'd like to play that. And it'd be great that knowing that I've got a box that can do that, which isn't my old 360, which I'd have to dig out and wire up again into my cabinet or something. But then equally on Sony's side, they say that, well, they're pushing forward to the future. Why would you want to play old titles? So I do understand both sides of the argument. And so I do wonder what happens in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing anyone new to the Sony platform would probably like to be able to play backwards compatible titles to catch up on some of the things that they may have missed. But as an Xbox gamer and I've got an Xbox One that obviously has all the backwards compatibility, and I'm obviously going to get Series X. Yeah, it's quite nice not having to dig out all of those old consoles to play some of the older games. And I do play those older games just for sort of, I don't know, just for a laugh sometimes, just to remember and reminisce about those sort of games. And sometimes they're actually better than you remember, and sometimes they're not quite as good as you remember. But it's just nice to have that ability, and it's just an extra reason to buy an Xbox One or Series X, actually.
Yeah, I suppose this is another argument, isn't it? Is backwards compatibility a major selling point for a new system? For a lot of people, it'll be no. For me personally, I'd say yes, it is, because as I've already said, it's quite nice to know that I can just dig into my old titles on my new box and away I go. Whereas obviously for a box up PlayStation, which as of today have stated it won't support it, it's a bit of a shame, and I have to dig out my old PlayStation 2 if I ever have to. But then equally, I mean, as it's rightfully said through some comments that not many people are going to be wanting to jump into PlayStation 2 games. You've got nice shiny new PlayStation 5 games on the horizon, so
yeah, that's a fair point.
I can see both sides.
IGN at the Gamescom Awards in 2020, they did Most Wanted Tech as an award, and Xbox Series X came top. I've got a video actually. Let me just switch to the video. Let's just quickly play this. Here we go. These are the nominees. Intellivision Amica. I don't really know what that is, to be honest. I'm embarrassed to say.
I think I've heard of it somewhere, but I'm in a very similar boat to you on that one, I'm afraid.
xCloud and Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I do wonder what this is. What the criteria is for this, because I'm sure there is also a equally massive pool of people that are wanting for a PS5 and all the tech that's got in it as well. So
yeah,
or maybe it's an xCloud thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just surprised to not see PS5 in the nominees, but again, perhaps IGN didn't want to fuel the console wars. Although,
yeah, that's a good point.
They do that every now and again, to be fair. So, yeah. Blazing Sails. Tell us about Blazing Sails, because this is a game that's kind of new to me, really. And when I first saw it, I actually thought it was Sea of Thieves, and it didn't take too long to realise it wasn't. But it's a very close clone, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll get the video playing. So I'll talk over it. So as you can probably tell by the opening sequence here, I mean, it very much looks like it could be Sea of Thieves. The art style is very much the same.
The colours are the same.
The colours are very nice, very vibrant, vibrant. Sorry. But yeah, and then very quickly, we obviously the people here look very similar, a bit less detailed, but very similar style. And then we start seeing pop-ups here that actually it's a pirate battle royale. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like the look of it very much. So, I mean, I love Sea of Thieves, and as soon as I saw this, I thought this is great. But then it does, for me personally, it throws a few questions there as to, you know, have the developers of this game maybe been a bit too unoriginal with it, and it's quite clearly a carbon copy with just an extra mode tacked on. But
I don't know really. I mean, obviously, Sea of Thieves doesn't directly have a battle royale mode. I know it has the arena mode, but you would have thought that perhaps Sea of Thieves is kind of catered for that kind of one-on-one player versus player kind of arena. I don't know. Perhaps this, you know, being an indie game, it might find its own niche, but it is incredibly similar, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a similar discussion off stream about games like Fall Guys. I mean, that was only a small indie title, and then look at that. I mean, it's I think just over a month now it's been released, and it's got over 2 million plays, and over 2 million plays and downloads, and top reviews everywhere. Everyone's loving it. It's being streamed left, right, and center. So there's definitely a market for games like this, where, you know, sometimes I suppose you need a niche like this in the market, and then people, if they really love it, will jump to it. So I hope it does well, perfectly honest.
It's obviously going to have to offer something Sea of Thieves currently doesn't. Perhaps it will have more pets, but probably not dogs, because in this, you like the intersection there, the Sea of Thieves September updates going to bring dogs with it. Dogs that you can pet. And there's going to be different kinds of dogs. Yeah, so we've had pets in Sea of Thieves for a little while now, haven't we? Like you say, I think it started with monkeys and parrots and things.
Yeah, I believe that was correct. But these are all, and I think later on there was cats that were introduced, wasn't it, in a later update after that one?
It was, and they cost real money, actual money.
Yeah, I find this very unfortunate. I mean, I have Amazon Prime, which gives me access to Twitch Prime, or Twitch Gaming as it's now known, I believe. So there was a promo through there where I could link my accounts together, and I got some goodies with it, and I got a monkey through that, and that was quite cool. But personally, I'm not a massive buyer of cosmetics, so I mean, it doesn't really do much for me. I wouldn't spend money on it personally, but just because I'm not into it. But equally, I understand and appreciate there's a load of different gamers out there which do like that customization. So I think it's definitely a great addition to the game, especially the whole dynamic of being able to pet the dog. This has been a meme in games for a good few months, and I think a few years now. So
no, exactly. I think it'll be a good addition, and I think they'll make probably a ton of cash out of it, to be honest, which at the end of the day is probably what's in it for them. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't know when that lands in September, but that's coming in the September update. And talking to September, another interjection, we have the September Game Pass game list. So why don't we go through this?
So we've been given another nice juicy list of Game Pass additions. So as of today's recording, September 1st, we've got Crusader Kings 3 coming to the PC. A good number of titles coming on September 3rd. So we've got the Jackbox Party Pack 4, which is
I quite like those. Yeah, they've had I think they've had the first 3 on there, and I really like those. So I'm quite looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I've played those titles with family and friends a number of times, and good fun. Good title I've not jumped into yet, and I'm really looking forward to is Resident Evil 7, which is coming to both console and PC.
That's a big hitter for Game Pass. Yeah.
It's a massive third-party title coming in, so hopefully we'll get more third-party titles in the future. But obviously, Tell Me Why came out, I believe, last week, and as of 2 days' time, you're going to be getting Chapter 2 for both console and PC.
That didn't take long.
No, and then I hope I pronounce this right. We've got Touhou Lunar Nights, or Touhou Lunar Nights. I'm not sure which way is correct, but that's also coming to both console and PC. And then we've also got World War Z, or Z, depending where you're from, coming to PC only, I'm afraid, according to this list. September 8th brings us Star Renegades. And then we've got September 10th. I hope I pronounce this correctly, is Disgaea 4 Complete Plus, which is only for PC. Hot Shot Racing, which is a relatively new indie title, is coming to console.
I had a dabble in that because on the Insider program, you could actually download a beta of that. So it's very much like Daytona, actually. It takes me back to the old Sega days. I enjoyed it, but I kind of got tired of it within about 10 to 15 minutes, if I'm honest. There wasn't quite enough content there to keep me interested. But to be fair, it was a beta. Perhaps the main title has more cars and tracks and things like that. But
so this is also an indie title, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah,
so fingers crossed that moving forward they'll update the game, because it looks really good from what I've seen. I like the low poly style.
Yeah,
that's definitely got the great style for indie teams, because it's a lot less difficult to work with. So yeah, fingers crossed that if it is a good game, it will get updated and become a much better and bigger game than as it deserves to become. Sorry about that. So on to September 10th. The last one is Tell Me Why Chapter 3. So if you do complete Chapter 2 in 2 days' time, you've only got to wait one more week and you can play the third one, which is also coming to both console and PC. And unfortunately, there's no real date for this. We just know that it's coming soon, so I'd assume that's within the September month. We've got the Destiny 2 Shadowkeep and Forsaken deal. I think is DLC the right term to use for these? I know they're definitely add-on packs.
Yeah, it's an add-on.
But they are also coming to both console and PC. So there's a good number of things that are coming very soon to both platforms, as in PC and console.
Yeah, I think Resident Evil and Jackbox Party 4 is probably the ones that I'm looking forward to the most out of that lot. But it's, again, we've said good value game passes. It's always good to see these games coming in, and I'm not sure what's going actually. That'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure what's leaving the service, but
I don't know the complete list. I know there's a number of titles going. Unfortunately, I can't remember the names of them, unfortunately.
No, fair enough. No, we can look that up. And last topic for tonight is an officially licensed Xbox One controller that you can eat. Sounds odd, I know. Let's show you it. Here we go.
Look at that.
So it's a cake, and it is officially licensed, and it's nut-free, as you can see.
Catering for all gamers there.
Indeed. And this is available in the UK from Asda and Tesco, our supermarkets, during the month of September. It doesn't look quite so good once it's out the box. Yeah.
It looks a lot better in the box, unfortunately, doesn't it? Like
it does.
The buttons were actually made of icing or something, but it's just,
I
assume, edible paper they've put down, which definitely detracts from its look from when it's in the box. Just leave it in the box. Just look at it.
Exactly. Well, if you know any gamers and Xbox gamers, and it's their birthday in September, that's available. Like say Asda and Tesco's, or you could buy it for a PS5 fan if you wanted to have a bit of a laugh. To be honest. But, I buy it and just keep it in the box. I think that's probably the best thing. So that wraps up this show. Thank you very much, Puxley, for being with us. I've been your host, Phlapp.
And I've been Puxley.
And we'll see you on the next one.